My name is Mina, and I never thought I'd end up saying this out loud, but I think I was haunted by a dead K-pop idol. It sounds insane, I know, maybe it is. But everything I'm about to tell you happened. I don't care if you believe me. I just need to say it because I don't sleep anymore. I can't, not after what happened. It all started because of Jihoon. If you were ever part of the Starflare fandom, you know who Jihoon was, main vocalist. Sweet, shy smile, killer stage presence. He wasn't just talented, he was magnetic. The kind of idol that made you feel like he actually saw you through the screen. And for me, he kind of saved my life. I know that sounds dramatic, but 2 years ago, I was in a dark place. My parents were divorcing. I dropped out of school. I felt like I had nothing solid left. Except Jihoon, his music, his voice. His face, he felt safe, familiar, real. Then just like that, he was gone. Jihoon died in a car accident in 2023. It was on the news, on every fan account. A van coming home from a filming. Wet roads, one driver falling asleep at the wheel. 3 staff members injured, 1 idol dead on impact. I remember the moment I read the headline. I was in bed, phone in hand. I saw the words Jihoon, an accident, and time just froze. I didn't even cry at first. I just stared at the screen, waiting for it to say something else. Something like false rumor or idol recovering. But it didn't. The company held a press conference. Jihoon's parents never spoke publicly. Starflare went completely silent. No more comebacks, no fan signs. Just silence, like the world had stopped spinning. And in a way, it had. I didn't know what to do with myself after that. So I started a tribute fan account. It was supposed to be temporary, a place to post old clips. Translations lost footage, but the account blew up. Thousands of followers, other fans sent me rare photos. Recordings, even handwritten fan letters. It felt important, like I was protecting something sacred. For 2 years I lived in that space. Every day I posted, every day I scrolled. Every day I whispered a little hi to Jihoon before bed. Maybe that's why what happened next felt like a betrayal. It started on the anniversary of his death. The exact day, same time of night. I remember because I was in my room, lighting a candle for him. I'd posted a long caption earlier about his legacy, how he inspired us all, how he'd never be forgotten. I was scrolling through the DMs on the tribute account, mostly condolences. Sweet messages, some artwork, when I noticed a new message request. From @Jihoon_official. My thumb froze over the screen. The account was verified, blue checkmark. The one used by the company during promotions. I'd checked that profile 1,000 times after his death. It had been inactive for 2 years. No posts, no stories, completely frozen. But here it was, a message, just 2 words. Don't dig. I stared at it for a full minute. My first thought was, it's a hack. Someone must have accessed the old account, right? I clicked the profile, still inactive. No new posts, no recent followers. Just the same untouched page since 2023. I tried to reply, who is this? But my message wouldn't send. A pop-up said action failed, try again later. A second message appeared. Stop looking for me. My chest tightened, I stared at the glowing screen. Completely still, my room suddenly felt colder, heavy. I locked my phone and tossed it on the bed. I didn't sleep at all that night. The next morning, the message was gone. The entire account was gone, not just the messages. Deleted, wiped clean, not deactivated, gone. Followers down to 0, profile couldn't be found. I told myself someone hacked it, then deleted it. But that didn't explain how it messaged only me. That was just the beginning. 2 nights later, I got a text from an unknown number. It said, "You shouldn't have come back." No name, no sender, no message history. I tried calling it, the call failed. Then my phone buzzed again, but it wasn't a message. It was static, like an old TV screen fuzzing out. I thought maybe the app had glitched, but it wasn't any app. It was just my screen. Flickering, buzzing, a strange clicking sound from the speaker. That night, my lights began to flicker in the apartment. The temperature dropped sharply, I could see my breath. My bedroom mirror began to fog from the inside. And then something happened that made me scream out loud. My phone screen lit up. A notification. Live video at Mina_Jehumfin is streaming. Except I wasn't live, I wasn't streaming anything. I tapped it. What I saw made my blood run cold. It was a video feed of my room. The exact angle of where I was sitting. My bed, my desk, my bookshelf. The camera slowly panned like someone was holding a phone and moving it across my room. And then the frame caught something behind me. A figure, blurry, slight, dressed in black, standing right behind me. I spun around, heart pounding. No one. Just my window closed, curtains still. I looked in the mirror, just me. I deleted the fan account that night. Every photo, every post, every backup. It felt like burning down a shrine. But it didn't stop the messages. The next night I got a call, no caller ID. I shouldn't have answered it, but I did. At first it was just static, then a faint whisper. And then I heard it. His voice, Jehun's voice. I'd heard it 1,000 times in interviews, songs, fan calls. Except now it was slow, hollow, like it was echoing from somewhere underground. Don't forget me. And then the call ended. My phone shut off when I turned it back on. The screen was cracked, smashed. I hadn't dropped it. I don't even remember falling asleep that night. But when I woke up the next morning, I was on the floor. My friends said I didn't answer messages for 6 hours. They said when I finally replied, I used emojis and sentence patterns that didn't sound like me. Something had changed. I looked in the mirror and felt like I wasn't fully there. Like I was split down the middle. Half of me wanted to pretend it never happened. The other half wanted to go deeper, to find out the truth. Why me? Why was I chosen? I started researching again, only this time. I didn't post anything online. I found an old blog from a former backup dancer who once hinted that Jehun was deeply unhappy in the industry. Pressured, isolated, that there were rumors about why he was really in that van that night. The post was deleted days later. Every time I looked up old footage, I noticed things I hadn't before, Jehun's eyes not quite meeting the camera. Fingers twitching, a bruise on his wrist during a photo shoot. Someone didn't want this truth to come out. Then one day I saw something that broke me. A photo buried in the metadata of a video file a fan sent me from 2021. It was Jehun, standing behind a group of fans at a fan event. Only his face looked distorted, like a long exposure gone wrong. His mouth was blurred, his eyes were completely black. In the corner of the image was me. I hadn't attended that event. I wasn't even in that city. But there I was. I deleted everything after that. My backup drives, my email. I smashed my phone myself this time. It wasn't grief anymore. It was something else. I don't keep photos of him anymore. I don't play Starflare's songs. I keep my mirrors covered at night. I sleep with a fan on to drown out whispers. But sometimes, even now, I hear him at the edge of sleep, right before the dream takes over. Don't forget me. I don't know what followed me. A memory, a ghost, a digital shadow left behind. Or something deeper, a piece of a soul trapped in the machine, in code, in us. But if you ever get a DM from someone you know is gone, don't answer. Some idols never really leave. The industry hides a lot behind the lights and fans. These stories just a glimpse. What if the real horror of K-pop isn't the scandals, but what's hiding off stage? They sing, they dance, they shine, and sometimes they haunt. In 2023, I was a second-year trainee under one of the smaller entertainment companies. Footage was grainy, silent, black and white. At 2:13 a.m., the camera flickered, and someone stepped into the living room. She was wearing my hoodie, the exact same oversized gray one I wore to bed that night. He even had the same bleach stain on the sleeve. We watched in silence as she walked slowly toward the hallway, passing all our bedroom doors, stopping briefly outside each one. Then she walked to the kitchen, opened the cabinet under the sink, took something out. It was a knife. She walked toward the hallway again and the camera glitched. When the footage resumed, it was 2:26 a.m. and the room was empty. No knife, no girl. I checked my closet, my hoodie was still there. Clean, folded. We couldn't sleep that night. Jiwoo suggested turning in the footage. But if the company thought we were tampering with their surveillance, we'd be done. So we said nothing. But then things escalated. Hana woke up screaming the next night. Said someone had been standing over her bed. We turned on all the lights, nothing there. But on the wall above her head, written in something dark, "She doesn't belong." We checked every inch of the dorm. Every door was locked, no signs of forced entry. Except the camera. It was blinking red. Recording. That morning, the managers pulled us in again. They said the camera had been triggered by movement at 2:20 a.m. But the footage showed nothing. Literally black screen. When they checked the camera's logs, it showed it had been manually disabled for 3 minutes. No one had access, except someone from inside the dorm. 2 nights later, Bora went missing. We thought she'd snuck out. She'd been talking about quitting anyway, the pressure was too much. But her phone was still charging on the nightstand. Her coat was still there, even her shoes. We searched the entire building, nothing. When the company called the police, they started pulling old camera footage. The last sighting, Bora standing in the hallway at 2:14 a.m., looking at the living room camera, smiling. She hasn't been seen since. Her name was erased from the company trainee list within a week, as if she never existed. But we remember, because 3 nights after she vanished, we found another SD card under the couch cushion. And on it, she was back. Same hallway, same time, same smile. But her eyes were wrong. Too wide, like they weren't hers anymore. I was a backup dancer for a moderately popular K-pop group, let's call them Luminous. Not a big 3 group, but still performing in big venues and getting international attention. I had danced professionally since I was a kid, so when I got the call to join Luminous for their new comeback tour, I was ecstatic. It felt like my big break. The group had a tight-knit team. The main members were young, friendly, but intense about work. Our rehearsals were brutal, 8 hours a day. Then vocal coaches, then media training. But the real grind was the live shows. Every detail had to be perfect. The night it happened, we were performing at a sold-out arena in Busan. The crowd was electric, screaming and waving light sticks. I felt the adrenaline pumping through my veins. Backstage was hectic, dancers stretching, choreographers shouting corrections, stylists fixing outfits. The routine was complex. We'd rehearsed it dozens of times. But live shows always had their risks. I was stage left, waiting for my cue to jump in for the bridge dance break. The show started smoothly. Music, lights, synchronized moves, the energy was flawless. But as we moved into the second half, something weird happened. A new girl appeared on stage. She wasn't one of us. She was wearing the exact backup dancer outfit, black leather jacket, tight pants, red sneakers, but her movements were off. Too jerky, almost puppet-like. Her face was hidden under a baseball cap pulled low. No one had told me there was a new dancer. I blinked, wondering if my tired eyes were playing tricks on me. But she kept moving, flawlessly keeping pace with the choreography, but with this eerie, mechanical precision. I tried to catch the eye of the other dancers. No one else seemed to notice. The main members were too busy performing. The cameras on stage didn't seem to catch her either. When the segment ended, she slipped off stage as quietly as she appeared. After the show, I asked the choreographer about her. They gave me a blank look. "No new dancers tonight," they said. I described what I saw. They said, "You must be tired, maybe you imagined it." But then we started hearing rumors. Fans talking online about a ghost dancer in luminous shows. One fan recorded part of the Busan concert and posted it. I watched the video dozens of times. She was there moving, but when I paused the footage, the spot she stood on was just a flicker of light, sometimes a shadow. No clear image. I asked the senior dancers. They told me a story. Years ago during a comeback tour, a backup dancer named Sujin had died in a car accident after a show in Daegu. She was a talented dancer with the group Eclipse, a popular girl group from another company. They said her spirit never left the stage. Some claimed seeing her figure in mirrors backstage. The similarities were chilling. The mechanical movements, the way the girl on stage moved, not quite human. I started avoiding the spot where I saw her. But the next show in Daegu, the same thing happened. The wrong girl was back. I tried to tell the group's manager. He laughed nervously, told me to focus on my performance. That night I stayed after everyone left. I went on stage alone. The spot where she appeared was empty. But I felt something. A cold breeze, a whisper, a soft echo of footsteps behind me. I turned around. No one. The tour ended. I quit the next day. But the videos are still out there. The ghost dancer, the wrong girl who took the stage. And sometimes, late at night, I swear I hear footsteps in my apartment. If you ever find yourself backstage at a K-pop show and see someone moving who shouldn't be there, maybe don't look too closely, because some dancers never leave the stage.